Where my dogs at? Yeah, welcome me back. Where my dogs at? Yeah, welcome me back. Where my dogs at? Yeah, welcome me back. It's 9 niggas single again. Yeah, I'm single. In the club tryna mingle. Fuck relationships cause a nigga never been for. Can't have just one like a Pringle. So I'ma keep it simple, listen here. Icy on my wrist aware. No guilt, I'm in the clear. Photos of my ex on my Instagram disappear. I'm single. In the club tryna mingle. Fuck relationships cause a nigga never been for.
No, but I mean, look, it's very hard to separate hip hop from anything that's being presented as culturally based at this point. It's very hard.
If you know, you know.
It has too many branches.
If you know, you know.
Well, I mean, there's how many products are being sold through that cultural level of influence? Like everything's got something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that's got the? I live in Houston, so Kroger's is one of the main chains, and there's like a Kroger's commercial where they're talking about their prices are low, and it's Flow Rider, and everybody looks at the prices low. Like it's they're actively looking for ways to, because hip hop is inherently cool, right? And I don't care what part of life you live in, hip hop is cool. If you're dead ass poor, hip hop is cool. Yeah. If you rich as fuck, hip hop is cool. Like it represents every part of the American dream, every part of the world that we live in. I don't care if you're in war-torn countries. You go to a war-torn country, you see Tupac every fucking where.
Yeah, that's right.
You see a mural of Tupac every fucking where. You go somewhere where they smoke, where weed is legal, you gonna see Snoop Dogg everywhere. Fucking way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's not that it's just inherently cool. It's hypnotic. It's easy to put a message in a hip hop song. I can educate you in a hip hop song. I can't do that in a reggae song. Not so much. The song will be much longer.
Hip hop isn't
R&B
vague.
Song.
Hip hop isn't vague, right?
I can give you theology. I can give you philosophy. I can feed all this to you.
And it's clear what I'm doing when I do it.
Yeah.
Right? These rock songs sometimes, and I don't know, maybe because I'm not a rock fan, sometimes I don't really know what we're getting at. Right? Like, it's one song that it's about the dad, or what I didn't know it was about a nigga crying about his dad.
Kiss from a Rose.
You know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Like,
what is that song about?
Kiss from
Anybody know?
By Seal?
Yeah.
It's a love song.
No, it's not. It's about cocaine. Didn't know that.
People in love with coke.
Kiss from a
There it is.
Word?
Cocaine's definitely a love story.
Yeah, like, I know.
It's a love-hate story.
I said what I said.
Hold on, man.
It's a love-hate story.
Face look like that?
No.
No.
They got I can't feel my face when I'm with you in kids movies. That's kind of crazy. That whole shit's about cocaine.
Yeah.
I mean, Prince made religious songs and people sniff coke
Well,
too.
it's like Redbone, come and get your love.
Prince
They talking about
sniffed
heroin.
coke while making religious songs. I'm almost certain.
A lot of people ain't ready for the conversation that most of the greatest music of all time was made off of
drugs.
narcotics.
People on drugs, yeah.
Or alcohol.
Yeah.
But either way, like
most of the great art was made
absolutely
with some kind of outside influence.
Hendrix.
A lot of these
steroids for art, really, because when you let yourself just relax and do whatever, it's different than being sober. At least in a stressful ass world, you put 5 drinks in me, I'm gonna make better music. I'm telling you, it's a fact.
Well, that's because you're not even, you know, the less hindrance you have in presentation, you know what I'm saying, the bolder you present.
And some of them need that to turn it off. Like, so I believe some of our geniuses, it's such a non-stop thing, they need to dull it down in order to just function during the day. Like Hemingway was an alcoholic, Jimi Hendrix, alcohol, different.
I mean, the greatest music in the world.
Their minds
jazz,
operate with such
heroin.
a high level of hyperactivity.
Yeah.
Right? Is that like their whole shit, their mind is giving them ideas and telling them to do this, try this, what do you think of this, look deeper into this. And motherfuckers like, I just want to smoke a cigarette and chill. Like, I just want to actually chill in a normal place, but my mind don't work like that. So I got to do something just to like
bring it out.
Yeah, just
to
to bring it, to shut it
Shut
down.
it down.
You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise I'll be up all night in the garage building shit. When I need to just go sit down and watch a movie with my wife or go play a game with my kids, but my mind I'm so wired up. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about that with my man Cal Wayne. He's like, I'm in New York. I'm finna rap. Like, I'm ready to motherfucking go. Like, this the place. I'm like, my nigga, calm down.
You thought you was gonna find a cipher on every corner?
But he's ready. He just wants to be prepared. And some people, once they've lived a certain amount of time operating in a certain way, it's hard to turn that shit off.
All right, I want to dial it back a little bit because you started off this conversation with this misperception of what New York, how easy it is for New Yorkers.
And I'm glad I have clarity for that. Because again, I'm operating from how shit was happening in 92. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is just the coin flip, right? Like New York now feels ostracized from hip hop community in the way that we felt. Not ostracized, but isolated.
Not the hip hop community, the
music industry. Okay, let's clarify that.
Definitely.
Because there's still a lot of records that's popping out here.
Yeah, you're gonna
I will not hear 100 miles away from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna hear that shit when I get to the Midwest. I'm not gonna hear the shit when I get to Atlanta.
Well, you preach it to the choir. Yeah. You preach it to the choir. But niggas still gotta move in spite of. You still gotta move and push for it in spite of. We were never the popular taste until we became the popular taste. But that's because niggas didn't understand it. It was too far. They couldn't see that. This was not when there was, where you could go online and see somebody in Houston or go on YouTube and look up things like that. You had to go, people still had to go in a record store to buy a song. You know what I'm saying? So back then, if you wanted to know what was going on in Texas, you had to go to Texas. There was nothing to see to get it and be, oh, okay. That's why certain rappers like Cam went to college at Blinn, got a lot of No Limit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Cash Money, a lot of the Houston hip hop scene influenced. In that way, comes back with a deeper understanding of how everybody's collectively looking at hip hop. And now you're in a position to present that shit in a way that actually offers an entry point to everybody else. And I don't blame the artists. I believe that the industry and the system was not trying to offer that to people because, like I said, those things just made your job harder. Now, because of that, we had to employ DIY. So a lot of us built ourselves up. We had to go and create the relationships ourselves that record companies would afford you, right? So if I wanted to talk to heads of radio, I had to go and try to call. I had to go to the radio station and talk to those people. And so we built up a system of self-sufficiency while also expanding the brand and our culture to the world. Now people not only see it, they actually see it as a path to success if you pay attention to it. And because the dynamic shifted, because so many other elements were being brought into the culture that weren't always necessarily a part of New York hip hop, now the entry point for you is further away than it's ever been. Because when hip hop started, I'm not even gonna say New York, when hip hop started, New York rappers were successful because that's where it came from.
That was all there was.
We didn't have any other choice.
But see the fact that you said New York rappers, it wasn't New York rappers.
I'm sorry. New York
rappers.
rappers. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
It wasn't.
When hip hop started,
when we started to marginalize regions, that's when you really started to see a dissension. Because, I mean, New York, there's New York rappers, then there's the South. Nobody really says the North or the East Coast. They say New York and then the South.
Well, I mean, in the South,
now, if you had to pick,
you'd have to go to New York.
No, but here's the
we
thing.
Gotta be, we gotta
East Coast.
But then you got this huge region.
Right, but I don't know this because I'm in the South in the same way that you don't know how big the South is.
And there's no technology to connect us.
Yes, absolutely. So those lines are almost already predestined inside it. It's the consumers that started to tear these walls down. You know what I'm saying? And when I came in the game, there was New York and there was West. Most of the music was coming from the East Coast, and then eventually the West Coast started releasing music. But we don't know the East Coast. We think New York is New York. We don't. New Jersey, what the fuck that got to do with New York? That's New Jersey. Connecticut, what the fuck that got to do with New York? That's Connecticut. Philly, what that got to do with New York? But that shit is all the East Coast, right? And so once we, like you say, it's a closed-minded view, right? Eventually we realize that. And we start paying attention. Okay, so East Coast ain't just New York. It's this, and that. The West Coast ain't just LA. It's Sacktown, it's Oregon, it's Vegas, it's all of that. And then we're like, but what is the South?
Goes on and on and on and on.
Keep going.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
You're right. So we're like, okay, we could actually win this game.
Definitely.
We could actually win this game. We could be
By
successful.
landslide.
By
landslide.
But we got to convince the consumers that they have the power. And that's where the shift came. When y'all start letting niggas call in that requested videos. That's where the shift came. We had more niggas calling for our shit. We never had a voice in it. We had to turn on TV and whatever your on TV raps played, that's the hip hop we got. You know what I'm saying?
An element that came from the South though that we didn't have is y'all all. We were just talking about driving before we started filming. We're talking about driving in general. New York sucks driving and all that. Most people don't have cars here. Everybody down south has to have a car. So you're pulling up with a bunch of CDs in the trunk, selling them outside the club when that was never a reality. I mean, besides the mixtape era, like the mixtape DJs would go to Canal Street, the clubs and all that. But artists weren't pulling up in New York with a trunk full of CDs.
Selling their own shit.
It wasn't happening, especially in the 90s. Maybe a little bit later. But in New York, if you try to sell a CD to someone, it's like, get away from me. Because it's like, it's nonstop. The Times Square, the dudes will like violate you if you say you're all set. They'll talk shit to you. It's a whole different attitude. Where in the South, cats were pulling up and just being like, look what I got. And people were interested. Because especially in the 90s, because dudes like Master P and all them doing it, like people were like, holy shit. You rap? That was back when like not everybody rapped.
Right.
So you got a whole element
Key
down
component.
there where people are like, oh shit, you rap, I want to hear it. Nowadays, if someone's like, I rap, it's like, go that way. But that shit was just so different. And that's where you guys had a whole different hustle.
Especially here. Because your chances of selling that CD to another rapper are huge compared to any place else. You woke up, yo, here's my CD, I rap. You're literally selling crack to a dealer. I don't want yours. I got my own. I'm still trying to get my shit.
Right.
Or if I'm not the dealer directly, my man rap, my brother rap, my cousin rap, my sister rap, my man's a DJ. Like, I don't want this. Get the fuck away from me. Whereas when you go other places, these folks are living the life.
Because we come from communities that are starved for representation. That's the problem.
It's all around. Look around you, man. You can find inspiration. You can find discouragement. It all depends on you. Perception is everything. Some people just hear another song. Some people hear the greatest. A nigga used to have no chill. Nowadays I bump side A. Traffic going bumper to bumper, stuck on the highway.